Okay, I'll be running. So we'll start with the first question. Do you feel you know much about technology?
Yeah, I took a master's class as part of my master's program that was based around technology and education. I don't feel I've been trained very much through the district, but I think through my master's class and just from being in college, I've learned a lot about technology through that.
Okay. Do you use technology in your special education classroom, and how so do these enhance learning?
We go to the computer lab once a week for 45 minutes, and usually we do some sort of a program either on the internet or through computer software that's based around either reading or math. And then the students also use the computers in the classroom probably once or twice a week with similar programs. And I think it just enhances their learning because it increases their motivation because they're really excited about it. So I think that alone helps them to learn a little bit better through that technology.
Yeah. Are there certain benchmarks your students have to fulfill in terms of technology throughout the school year?
Nope. We pretty much just kind of set our own lessons. There's no computer teacher at the school or anything like that. And most of my students, their curriculum is driven from their IEP. So that's what it's based off of, and there are no technology goals written. We're working on learning how to read and count and identify numbers. So.
Because I remember being in school, we didn't have computers in school. I'm sure you didn't have computers growing up in grade school. Are there other teachers that you know who use certain areas of technology in their classroom that you might want to try or have tried in the past?
Not that I can think of. I know, not in their classrooms, but in the computer lab that we have a smart board. I don't know if you've ever seen those. They're pretty cool. So I haven't used that yet, but that would just be the once a week when we're in the computer lab. And I think that's something that I would like to try to use. We had a training on it last year, and then I went on maternity leave like a week later. So I never really got into implementing that form of technology, but that's something that I'd probably be interested in trying to use.
Yeah, those are really, I wish I knew more about those.
Yeah.
Would you or have you used the internet in your classroom?
We use a couple of different websites, educational websites. The biggest one is starfall.com is one that we use, and that is, I like that website because it's very different, multi-level. Like my kids who are just learning their letters can use it, and my kids who are very fluent readers can also use it as well. Other than that, we sometimes use it for research, but usually it's the teacher using the internet. Like if we're looking up something and we don't know the answer to, usually the teacher will go research it and kind of report their findings, but that's about it.
And this is always a huge kind of topic, is do you have or know any drawbacks to using the internet in classrooms?
Well, I know that we have certain firewalls and stuff like that, like websites that they can't use. I think one of the drawbacks to using the internet in my classroom is that we don't have enough computers for all the students to use. I think if we had enough, that would make it a lot better. My kids, we monitor them so closely. I don't really worry about them going to other sites because I don't think they have the capacity and are educated enough on computers to really navigate to other websites. So I know that that's a big concern with other teachers, students not being where they're supposed to be or viewing things that are inappropriate for children to view. But we don't really have that problem because we have a very high adult to student ratio in the classroom too. So even when they're on the computers, there's always somebody monitoring them real closely.
Yeah, I think that some drawbacks with other teachers I've talked to have been kind of like in the upper levels, like the middle school and the high school, where they do all that stuff at home and they're kind of just used to using the computer only for that thing, so they don't know how to use it for education.
Yeah.
And I know you've touched on this, but are there positive aspects to using the internet in your classroom?
Yeah, I think so. I think that that what we do here at school, that the students can then do at home. So it's kind of bringing in that parental component and taking what we're doing in the classroom, and the students can also use it in the home environment. In technology, it's not going away, and they're going to need to know the internet and how to use it. So I think it's definitely beneficial for them to use here.
And real quick, have you heard about those new Exo computers that they're doing? They're doing this. What is it? It's kind of like a donation thing. There's these little Exo computers. I think they're about $100 each. Basically, what you do is you buy two computers. They send you one, and they send the other one to underdeveloped countries.
Oh, really?
They're about this big. They're just miniature laptops, and they just run on Linksys. I don't know if you just know Linksys. It's
Mhm.
really just basic, like, has icon and it takes you to like a drawing program, and they have internet on there, and they have webcasts, so you can do teaching through different countries.
Right.
And
No, I've never heard of that.
yeah, this
That's
is really
pretty
neat
cool.
things. I guess they're only. I'd look it up. I can look it up right after this. I guess they're only lasting, like the promotion's only for 2 weeks, and hopefully they'll get a lot of people to buy those.
Oh.
But that's it. For
Well,
me.
and we, as far as technology goes, we write a lot of grants
Oh yeah.
through the I don't know if you listen, but the tribe, they donate 2% of some sort of their profits. Like each year they donate close to $2 million to our school district. So we write a lot of technology grants for that. I know we're getting a new computer lab, and like we wrote a grant for laptops and different
That's
stuff like
exciting.
that. Yeah, and digital
Laptops
cameras and
in
stuff
the
like that.
In the computer lab or for
Nope,
curriculum?
we're getting a new computer lab, and then we just wrote a grant. We don't know if that one has been approved or not, but we just wrote a grant for the teachers to have a laptop so that they can work at home and then bring their stuff in and do that. So we don't know if that's been approved. And then we also wrote a grant for, I think, some new digital cameras. So that's something that we're very lucky to have that other
Yeah.
school districts
Yeah.
don't have, because I know funding is a big issue with technology at other districts.
Definitely.
So,
Okay, well that's all for the interview. Did you
Okay.
want to add anything else?
no,
All right, thank you.
did it work?